welcome back. Today we have a great recipe, and today I'm cooking with Joy. Hello, Joy.
Hello.
Joy, you have actually submitted a recipe to Hendrix Learning before, and we have that on the website, and I made it. Today, this is another recipe that you're bringing to us, and this recipe is called what?
Oyokadon.
Oyokadon. How'd I say it? Okay?
Yeah.
And this is not an American dish. This is a Japanese dish.
Yep.
I've never had this, but it looks delicious, and you've shown me what a finished product looks like, and so I'm very, very excited. And honestly, it's pretty. I mean, the recipe seems simple enough. There's not like too many ingredients. Let's go over them. Let's talk about what we have. So, you want to read those off for me, and I can kind of show them off.
Yeah. Soy sauce.
Soy sauce.
Dashi stock.
Dashi stock. Now, I never knew what this was, and we ordered this, and this is. I don't know. Do you have a description of it other than dashi stock?
It's a fish stock.
And it comes in these little packets, like so. And then it's powder. So I don't know if you can see that very well, but it comes in these little like powdery form. And what we've already done is turned it into the broth that we're going to be using. So we mixed hot water with the stock, or with the dashi mix or whatever, and now we've got dashi stock. So we're going to be using that. Cool. What else do we have?
Mirin.
Yep. And this is, you showed me this for the very first time, and I use this a lot now. And it's basically what, like a cooking wine kind of thing?
Cooking sake, but cooking wine.
Yeah, and this is really, that's awesome. I use that when I make fried rice now, thanks to your suggestion. Okay, what else do we have?
Sugar.
Yep, so we got some sugar, and we're not using very much, but it's in the recipe, so we got it, and we'll see when we get to the actual mixing. It's very, very little amount. All right.
Chicken.
Chicken. We've got chicken thighs. Now, if you wanted, chicken thighs are like the heartiest of the bird. So if people like a lighter dish with their chicken, you could use chicken breast or chicken tenderloin. But we've got boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Cool. Let's see. Onion. Got an onion.
Parsley.
Got a lot of parsley. We can use parsley for days.
And eggs.
And we have eggs. So we've got our eggs here in our carton. Awesome.
And rice that's cooking.
Yes, and so we've got rice, and we have this rice, but it is already over here in the rice cooker, and it's actually done. It's ready to go. So when we need it, it's going to be over there. We made that in advance. That's part of the recipe, but we don't want to just have to show everybody how to make rice. We actually already have a rice making video up. So great. What we're going to do next is we're going to bring y'all over, and we are going to be making. We're doubling the recipe, but we're going to be making it as 2 single servings. And so when you showed me how to do this, it was kind of cool because the person that was making it, they made it like in a little single serving pan and then poured it out, and it was like you make it for yourself, or a single serving, but you could obviously double this, triple this, quadruple this, make it for as many people as you want. So we're each going to make our own little pan, and once we mix the ingredients, cut everything up, get everything mixed, then we're going to cook it, and it shouldn't take too long. We're going to put it over rice at the end. I'm very excited. So if y'all are ready, let's come on over, and we'll let y'all watch as we prep and get ready for the cooking process. Here we go. All right, so we are ready. We've got our pans over here that we're each going to be making our own little pan of. So we're each going to be using the same amount of ingredients, but if you were making a double portion in one pan, then you would obviously be putting everything into one.
Yeah.
So what do we have first?
First we got combine the soy sauce, mirin, and dashi stock and sugar into our pans. Okay,
so we've got our pans. So we'll start with, let's see, I need 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. We've got that here. We've got... So 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. And what I think is interesting is, you want to get the mirin? One thing I think is interesting is that we mix this in the pan without heating it up first. Most of the time I feel like I'm using pans where, thank you, where I'm actually cooking it as I'm adding ingredients. But in this, we're just going to start with, mirin, soy sauce, what else? Dashi stock.
Dashi, how much is dashi?
2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons.
And again, we have our dashi stock mixed up, so I'm just going to grab a bit of it.
Looks like it's settled at the bottom. We might want to stir it.
Oh, stir it up some?
Yeah.
Good eye, good eye. Well, now we can taste and see who tastes better. One of us got stirred up dashi and the other one didn't. Let's see.
Oops. Oh.
Nice. Hey.
Okay.
Whatever. Little dashi, little extra dashi didn't hurt.
I'm assuming that's 2 tablespoons.
Cool. Okay. Now sugar. Now this is a funny one because I've never seen such a small amount of sugar being used. How much does it say to use there?
1/8 of a teaspoon.
So 1/8 of a teaspoon, and the best I can get is 1/4, which is already super small. So sure, that looks about good. Yes. So we're gonna use
just a dash, I guess.
Just a dash, yeah. And so we don't even have a size that's small enough for that. Okay, so we've got soy sauce, mirin, dashi, and sugar, and so now we just need to stir that up. Mm-hmm. And we're just trying to combine that and get the sugar dissolved into it. And notice that we are not using metal utensils to do this, because if you use metal utensils to do this, you will scratch your pan, and that's not good, because most pans are non-stick, and if you scratch them, they lose their non-stick. What do you think?
I guess so.
Mixed enough. It already smells really good, so that's a good sign. So let's see. So next we need to do what? Add the chicken pieces. Okay, so we need some chicken. So we need chicken thighs, and we're cutting these into like small pieces, right?
Yep.
And how much do you want to use in yours? We've got plenty of chicken. We don't need near that much, but I'm probably gonna take.
Yeah, thighs sounds good.
Do one. Here, you want a cutting board too?
I hate touching raw meat.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't I cut the chicken and you cut the parsley?
Okay.
And onion. You can use that one. I'll use this one right here.
This one touched the chicken.
Oh, good. Well, we don't need that. Nice. And so what you just said was, whoops, that one had touched the chicken. You don't want to cross-contaminate because raw meat, and especially things like raw chicken, you don't want to use the same knife to cut the chicken as you do the parsley. How much parsley do we need for each one of these recipes?
2 stalks, so...
2 stalks, nice.
So we just need... Alright. Okay, I think that's 4.
Nice. Might give this one nice little cut. Okay, there's one. My cutting board is sliding around on me over here. Hopefully I don't lose everything I'm doing. You know, I was surprised to see parsley on this. I don't really know what like country of origin parsley is from, but I would have thought it was more of like a European or something. Although, you know, the specific kind of parsley that this recipe called for was a very specific kind of parsley, and I couldn't find that, so I just got regular parsley. The internet said that
Fair enough.
The internet said that I could, you know, switch them out and they wouldn't do too much harm. So I don't always trust the internet, but I did trust the internet when it comes to switching out parsley.
Parsley, so.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. And that smells really good, actually. I didn't realize parsley has such a strong smell. All right, so I've got chicken cut, so we can use those. I'm gonna set this off to the side. I'm gonna grab, we've got our onion now. And now this recipe called for a specific way of cutting the onion, and it said, and I'm gonna rinse my hands off while you're doing that, but it said to like, basically we're each gonna use half of that onion, and then it said to peel like 2 layers of onion, and then cut that, which I thought was kind of interesting, because usually I just peel, you know, I just have the onion do whatever it does. I'm gonna wash my chicken hands off. And again, it's important to be clean in the kitchen, right? So that means making sure that your hands are washed, making sure that you're not cross-contaminating food by using meat knife and veggie knife is the same. Cleaning up after yourself, right? You don't want to leave a big mess on the counter for anybody. So this thing, I'm gonna get another knife out so I don't mess that up. So this the person that I saw making this, they were basically taking the onion, and see you have these peels here, the different layers, and they were taking 2 peel layers off, like this. So see how there's like 2 layers in that? And then they were slicing that really thin. They also said that you can substitute the white part of a green onion if you don't have a, if you don't like or if you don't have a regular whole onion. You're pretty good with the knife. Have you, uh-oh, I dropped raw onion on raw chicken, so I'm tossing that. And we'll just have to make do with a little less onion. Have you been working with a knife for a while? I mean, have you,
yeah, I guess so.
you have a pretty good cooking history?
Yeah. Oy.
Nice. I don't really like the very center of the onion. I always feel like it's kind of too much. How are they going?
You take a turn.
Are they getting to you? So what are we doing? You want to see on our recipe what we do after we get the onion and parsley and stuff cut up?
Right.
Right now we have the chicken cut, we have the parsley cut, we have the onion cut.
Lightly beat 2 eggs in a bowl.
Okay. And so that, it's being very specific about the eggs too, right? It's saying lightly beat them. And so you'll have to show us what that looks like. But you can get some eggs and you want to take 2 and I'll take 2?
Uh-huh.
And then we'll lightly beat them. All right. You want to get me 2 eggs out as well?
Sure. You might need a bigger bowl for the eggs.
Yeah, I have this little tiny bowl here. We'll see how it works, I guess.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
Thank you. Can I borrow your bowl?
I'm sure I can just beat all of them in the same bowl, honestly.
And then we kind of pour them out together.
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna make much of a difference.
All right. That's a very bright egg color.
Yeah, that's very orange.
Yeah, that's cool. And you have some chopsticks that you brought over here.
Yep.
And that's because at least when I watched the recipe, they use chopsticks to kind of lightly beat the egg. So why don't you show us how that works? Because after we lightly beat our egg, we're going to add the chicken and the onion into our pans, and then we're going to be time to cook.
Okay, now.
All right, let's see. Here, I'll tell you what. Bring it over here and let's show everybody.
All right, let's see.
Wow. So the goal is not to like fully mix it all together, right?
Right.
Oh.
Yep. Okay. Let's see if this works.
Looks like it's a recipe for a big mess. Tiny bowl, having to whip the eggs up in there. So let's see, we're going to add the onion and the chicken into our pans. You have your pan?
Yep.
Here's yours. I'll move this raw chicken out of the way. And so you can have some chicken.
All right.
And maybe we can just use the knife here to get it in so we don't have to like touch it really.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And I'll put mine in there. You want to give me some onion?
Let's see.
And at this point, we've got our chicken, our onion, our dashi stock mixture in there. And so we're gonna put this on the stove, right? We're gonna get the stove, and we're gonna put this on a medium heat. And once it's on there, we're gonna cover it with a glass lid so that it'll steam. Because you were telling me earlier, that's how we're gonna actually cook it, is with the steaming effect, right?
Right.
And then when the chicken turns white, we're gonna flip it and let it cook all the way through on the other side. And after that chicken is done, we're gonna be putting in, or almost done, we're gonna put the parsley in. And then when everything else is done, we're gonna pour the egg over the top, and that's where this whole recipe is gonna come together. Mm-hmm. And like we said earlier, we're gonna serve this dish over rice, and we already have our rice cooked and ready to go behind us, so it's ready at a moment's notice. let's move on over here to the stove and we can get it on there and we'll kind of let everybody watch the cooking process. Okay, so we've got our 2 pans on the oven, and notice that we have large eyes and small eyes, and so we don't want to, it's not safe to cook with a little pan on a big eye, because then there's a lot of extra space where the hot element is that could burn. So we've got our 2 small ones and our 2 small pans, which is perfect. We mentioned we were going to turn it on medium, and so we want to make sure I'm using the right one. So I've got the rear, and you've got the front, and I'm going to push and then turn it down to about halfway. Got it? And then it also said specifically to do what? We need to cover it.
Cover it, yes.
And so we've got 2 tops. You can get yours on there. And then mine, it's a little big, but it's okay. It'll work. And so we're going to let this sit here. And as the pan heats up, it's going to start to steam. And we're going to have to come back and check it. And when the chicken needs to be turned, we're going to turn it. And we're just going to finish cooking it. And then we're going to be adding parsley, adding egg. And at that point, we're almost done. Right. So, hey, let's let it cook.
Okay.
All right, let's check it out. Oh, wow. That looks awesome.
Yeah. Okay, this inside is still...
So it definitely needs to cook some more. We can flip it over.
Yeah.
And we can continue to let it cook. And then the next thing we'll be putting the parsley in after this cooks a little bit longer. You're pretty good with the chopsticks, I gotta say. Can I flip mine over too, you think?
I'm just gonna stir it around a little bit, honestly.
Nice. Yum. Gosh, it smells great already.
Yeah?
Yum, yum, yum. If you give yours a little stir, I'm gonna give mine a little stir too. That'd be good. Awesome. So we're just going to cover it and let it keep going?
Yep.
Sweet. And then when we come back and check, it's probably time for the parsley, right?
Right. Yep.
Still cooking. It's not necessarily done cooking, but right as we get closer, we're going to put parsley in. And what do you think? Like this much is probably enough, or?
Yeah. Yeah, like green veggies tend to shrink.
Okay.
Whenever you cook them, so.
Well, here we've got. Feel free to use as much of that as you want. I might put a little extra in mine. Just because I always love having a little bit of extra food in there. Gosh, and it just really, it just smells great. How does yours look as far as like doneness and stuff goes? Feeling pretty good about it? And we can still let it cook some more.
Oh, okay.
Looks like it's pretty much cooked all the way through. You know, what Joy's looking for in there is any pink in the middle that would show that it's still raw. And as we say, it's still cooking, and we're still going to cook it more as we put egg and stuff in there. So If it needs a little bit longer, that's probably good. Can I stir mine up as well?
Sure.
Actually, I've got one of these because I don't need to flip anymore, so I can just stir instead. Yeah, and look, my green vegetables are already shrinking like you said they would. So the next phase of the recipe says for us to put our eggs and kind of drape that over the top. And that's really the last thing, right? Before we actually plate it.
Yep.
So do we feel like we're ready for that?
Yep. Yeah, I think so.
And again, our eggs are lightly beaten, so there's going to be some nice kind of texture going in there. Wow, that looks amazing. Wow. That looks awesome. Oh my goodness. And are we going to steam it some more?
Yep.
Great. So we'll just kind of, this is not going to take long, right? This is going to take
No,
just...
it really depends on your preference.
Okay.
In Japan, it's normal to eat the eggs raw, so if you were to order it over there, like you might have the eggs like halfway cooked. So it really just depends on your preference. I like my eggs slightly runny, and Mom doesn't really trust the quality of eggs here, so she cooks it all the way.
Yeah. So some people, yeah, may not want to, and that would be up to, but obviously what you're talking about is that there's risks of like getting sick from a raw egg if it's not a quality egg.
Yeah.
So here you might err on the side of caution and cook it all the way through, but that's an individual choice, and people know what food they're buying and what they're comfortable cooking. Part of our recipe too, there's actually an optional component where at the very end, what did they put in it on the Japanese?
Just a completely raw egg yolk.
So when we plate this, we're going to have rice, and then we're going to put this over top of the rice, and then the recipe, if it's done kind of traditionally, you would kind of put a hole in the middle, and you would drop a single whole egg yolk right on the top.
Yeah.
And then when you go to eat it, you would kind of break that open and stir it in and eat it. So like you say, that's the raw egg component is something that's very typical, I guess, in Japan.
Yeah, that's very typical.
And then here in America, though, see, we're kind of cooking ours. Mine's looking, that's getting to be pretty done. Yeah. And what's awesome about this is that we didn't really mix it. We just poured it on top, and it's kind of cooking on top, which is what this recipe is supposed to do, right?
Right.
So how much longer do you think before this is going to be ready to plate? I mean, are we getting really close?
Yeah, pretty close, honestly.
Well, why don't we bring our camera back over, and we'll get some rice into our bowls, and we can put the... Say it again. I can't ever say it right.
Oyokadon.
Oyokadon.
Yes.
We can plate that on top of the rice, and then we'll cut one last time and get a little taste test in, see how we did.
Yeah, by the way, the rough translation of Oyokadon is mother and child bowl. So you got the chicken, which is the mother, and the eggs, which is the child.
That is awesome. Yes. Mother and child bowl. So we have the whole family in here, is what we're saying.
Yep.
That's hilarious. All right, well, let's come on over here and we'll get our rice ready, and then we'll be time for the pan. Cool. All right, so what are we doing now?
Just stirring up the rice before serving it.
Yeah, we want to try to break it up somehow. And we used a rice cooker to cook this rice in, which I really like. And actually, you got me on the rice cooker too, because I had really never used one before. But goodness gracious, this is so easy to make rice in. You basically just put in, equal parts rice and water. So you might put 1 cup of rice and 1 cup of water in there, press start, and it does it on its own, and it turns off when it's done cooking, and it just always comes out so nice. So we're going to put rice in our bowls. Oh my goodness, this is going to be great. I'm so excited about this. Rice down.
Okay, I guess this is enough.
You feel good about it?
Yeah. I guess you can always get more rice if you need it.
Oh yeah. All right, and then show me how we're going to plate this last part here. What are we looking for? Spoon? Okay.
Okay, which one was mine?
That one's yours. That one's mine.
Okay.
So is it going to kind of just slide off there then?
Yep.
Look at that. Nice non-stick pan. Oh my gosh. That like actually turned out exactly how I had it in my head. Things never turn out exactly like I had in my head. Unbelievable. Look at this. So underneath this is the rice, and then it's come out almost as like a single thing, and that's probably because the egg has kind of cooked into it all, right? Awesome. All right, well, listen, we're going to have to get everybody over here so we can give this thing a taste because that looks amazing. Well done. All right, so this I can hardly wait to eat. What do you think? Scale of 1 to 10, how do we do? How does it look?
Oh, it looks pretty good.
All right, now the real ultimate test, obviously, is the taste test. I'm going to try to get egg, onion, chicken, everything in there. Rice. What do you think? Oh my.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that turned out well.
Yeah, it tastes like home.
It's my first time tasting this, but what I can say, I don't know what home tastes like, but if it tastes this good, then we should all like the taste of home. Well done. Hey, thank you for showing me this great recipe. I hope other people will try it too. And this was quick, this was easy. Pretty simple ingredients. I mean, just a few things. Got to use some new ingredients, which is always fun. And at the end of the day, I mean, I could eat this whole bowl literally in probably 30 seconds. I might look like a rat eating over a sink, but it would be delicious all the way. So thank you all for joining. I hope that you will make Oyokadon. Nice. And y'all have a great rest of the day. Bye, everybody.